topic isoenzymes. So isoenzymes are physically distinct forms of the same enzyme. Isoenzymes means these are physically distinct forms of the same enzymes. They are the products of multiple genes. They are the products of multiple genes. So isoenzymes are the products of multiple genes. These isoenzymes distributed in different tissues. So these isoenzymes can be produced in different tissues. So they are distributed in different tissues but will be doing the same function. So since they are distributed in different tissues, there may be some physical difference will be there. So that is why they are called isoenzymes. And these isoenzymes, they differ with respect to physical and chemical properties also. These physical and chemical properties, if you see, PI means isoelectric pH, optimum pH, and substrate affinity. These are the some other chemical properties where these isoenzymes differ with each other. Isoenzymes, these are clinically useful as diagnostic enzymes. Isoenzymes are clinically useful as diagnostic enzymes. So if you see isoenzymes, these isoenzymes can be produced because of different combinations of the subunits. Example, this different combinations of subunits mechanism is most common mechanism for the formation of isoenzymes, which are consisting of two or more polypeptide units. For example, creatine kinase and LDH, CK and LDH. Creatine kinase and LDH, these are the two enzymes. They have got, creatine kinase has got 3 isoenzymes, and LDH has got 5 isoenzymes are there. So these CK and LDH exist in isoenzyme form because they are made up of different types of subunits. And the combination of subunits changes from one isomer to the other isomer. So this is the most commonest form for the formation of isoenzymes. Allelic isoenzymes, if you see, they arise from the same genetic locus. But exhibit structural variations among different individuals. So allelic isoenzymes, if you see, they arise from the same genetic locus but exhibit structural variations among different individuals. Then isoforms, post-translational modifications of the same polypeptide chain. May occur in different ways to generate different isoenzymes. For example, ALP means alkaline phosphatase. So if you take the enzyme creatine phosphokinase, otherwise called as creatine kinase, in short CK or CPK. If you see this enzyme creatine kinase or creatine phosphokinase, this enzyme has got 3 isoenzyme forms. These 3 isoenzyme forms are designated as CK1, CK2, CK3. CK1 is made up of 2 subunits called BB subunit. This CK1 consists of 2 subunits which are BB type of subunits. This is mainly present in brain. CK2 is made up of 2 subunits M and B. This is mainly present in myocardium. Now CK3 is made up of 2 subunits called M subunits, and this is mainly present in skeletal muscle. Normal values in serum, if you see normal values in serum, normal values of creatine kinase is 15 to 100 units per liter in case of males, and 10 to 80 units per liter in case of females. This creatine kinase enzyme is seen in brain, myocardium and skeletal muscle. So estimation of this enzyme creatine kinase or creatine phosphokinase in the blood gives an idea about the myocardium. Because it is related to myocardium, we can get an idea about the heart function, about the skeletal muscle function. We can come to know by doing CKMB and CKMM test. Now another enzyme, if you see another enzyme, that is lactate dehydrogenase enzyme. This has got 5 isoenzymes. These 5 isoenzymes are designated as LDH1, LDH2, LDH3, LDH4, LDH5. Okay, so LDH1, this enzyme isoenzyme is made up of 4 subunits. These 4 subunits, if you see LDH1, these 4 subunits are present in heart. H. So 4 subunits are present in heart. So since this LDH1 is present in heart mainly, this can serve as a marker for the myocardial infarction. Then LDH2, if you see, 3 H subunits and 1 M subunit is present. So this is mainly seen in sickle cell anemia and hemolysis. Okay, so sickle cell anemia and hemolysis. So LDH2, if you see, this is mainly present in RBC, and this can be detected in sickle cell anemia disease and hemolysis. LDH3, if you see, 2 H subunits and 2 M subunits are present in this structure, and this is mainly present in brain and kidney. LDH4 H, 1 H subunit and 3 M subunits. This is mainly seen in liver, and this can be a marker for viral hepatitis. LDH5 is completely all H subunits are replaced by 4 M subunits. This is mainly seen in skeletal muscle. This can be a marker for the muscular dystrophy, muscle trauma. Normal value in serum, if you see for LDH, it is about 200 to 400 units per liter. 200 to 400 units per liter. So this is a electrophoretic pattern for the enzyme LDH in serum. If you see it has got 5 isoenzymes, and LDH1, LDH2 are present in high concentration. From this graph you can see LDH, and LDH type 2 is predominant type of isoenzyme. Then LDH3, LDH4, LDH5. This is the normal pattern in case of healthy individuals. Normal pattern of densitogram of the electrophoresis of LDH enzyme. Now another enzyme, that is alkaline phosphatase, and this alkaline phosphatase has got 5 isoenzymes, which is present in liver. About 25% of total activity of alkaline phosphatase is in liver. Then 10% is biliary canaliculi, 50% is in 50% is in bone, and 10% in intestine, and another 1% in placenta can be seen. This alkaline phosphatase is since it is majorly present in bone, so this can be a good marker for the bone pathology and bone related disorders. Normal serum value of ALP, if you see, it is about 40 to 140 units per liter. 40 to 140 units per liter. And if you see the identification of isoenzymes can be identified by a technique called gel electrophoresis. Then heat stability is another important property of these isoenzymes to identify. So bone form of ALP is labile, whereas placental ALP is heat stable. Means bone form of ALP, if you heat it becomes inactive, whereas placental ALP is still remaining active. So based on the heat stability also we can identify the isoenzymes. Then tissue localization. Some isoenzymes are present in some tissues only. Let's say CPS1 is present in mitochondria, CPS2 is present in cytosol. Likewise, the distribution of these isoenzymes is restricted to different organs and tissues, and tissue localization is also useful for identification of the type of isoenzyme. Then cofactor requirement. Certain isoenzymes they require cofactors. Certain isoenzymes they don't need cofactor. So depending on the requirement of cofactor, we can also identify the type of isoenzyme.